All right, so Nina, thank you for coming in. 25 years old. You've been what have you issued so far this year in premium?
Right around 370, going hard for Hall of Fame.
So you're gonna hit Hall of Fame, which means you
Absolutely.
issue 400,000 on your own pin.
Yes.
And we had you in here before. Everybody loved your training, so I'm excited to hear your experience with the new instant internet life leads and the other leads in the Family First Life CRM. How you're writing so much premium with them. To start with, let's run through that. Can you kind of explain what that lead is, how it works, and what your experience is with it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, first things first, thank you, Andrew, for having me on again. The instant life leads have been a game changer, I think, to FFL, especially to me, because as you know, I go on a lot of travel trips and I go where the leads are. So, I've gone on 4 travel trips this month, and just last month I issued 23,000 just off the instant life leads alone, on top of other lead sources. So they've been a huge game changer for me. So they are a lead that's specifically just requesting life insurance. So you really don't know what you're going into, but it's cool that we have that type of lead because
Now, do you download them in the notes in the CRM where you can see like their job,
the details.
all the details?
Yes, I do.
How many details come with that lead?
What is it? How long of a process is
I
it?
think it's like
for
17.
Yeah, which is crazy. And we're getting them for $11 per lead. That's
Yeah.
unheard of. And everyone knows exactly what it is. Like you go in and you're like, okay, you put in a request for some life insurance, and they're like, yep, that's
Now,
it.
what percentage of numbers don't work? Or because a lot of people complain about, in the past, complained about internet leads where they go, well, a lot of people weren't really looking for the information, or they were offered something free, or the number didn't work. What's your experience with these ones?
It's going to happen. It's a numbers game.
But like what percentage of the time?
I would say 70% of them are solid. Like they know exactly what it is. They're answering their phones. Their phone number is correct. Like they're good leads.
And they asked for insurance.
They asked specifically for life insurance. Yeah.
So you get the leads. How many leads would you get in an area? Like what would be your strategy?
So I've gone on 4 travel trips this month. I buy 100 each time. So I look at the CRM. I'm in there every single day checking up. I have the notifications on for them, the alerts. So every time it alerts me, I'm in there and I'm grabbing leads. So
how do the alerts work? Some people might not know.
So you just go into the CRM and you select your area. You select the lead type that you're looking at, and there's a little checkbox that says alerts, and you just click on that and you get alerts from there. And they go straight to your email. So I'm super on top of checking my email. I have
So
my
if you sign up
notifications
for
on.
alerts in the CRM and a lead comes in Alaska and you were interested in that area, it'll notify you.
Oh yeah,
So you can go get it.
that's right.
Sweet. Now, all the information that you get, because I know they answer like 17 questions, which means the intent to buy is really high.
Super high.
All the information that you get, do you use that information when you call them, and is it accurate?
Absolutely. It is. It really is. Verifying their information first and foremost, and it kind of gives you a gauge of what they want coverage-wise. So if they're younger, and if they have no health issues, of course, you can kind of lean towards term coverage, or you can kind of lean towards looking for mortgage protection for them. Or if there's, older, they have some health concerns, you're going to get them whole life. So
Awesome. Let's go through. You get your bet. Now you're using these as fill-ins or additional leads on a travel trip.
absolutely.
Before we get into the phone script, what's your reasoning for going on travel trips, and what is your experience doing them?
So I feel like my biggest goal this year was Hall of Fame. And I knew that I could come close, but not hit it if I was just staying in my area. Like I could probably get away with writing 20, 30, maybe 40 grand a month in my area. But I knew if I was going to get to that next level that I needed to travel. So I go where the leads are. So look at the CRM, see where it's red, like Missouri right now, Northern California right now. Like there's so many places out there that are just on fire and that no one's running in. And you can just go there and claim that area, make it yours. So
Now, out of 100 leads, how many do you book?
out of 100 instant leads,
Yeah.
I would say 20 to 40 appointments.
20 to 40 appointments. And so you can turn the $1,100 from the 100 leads you get into what, 10 to 20,000 in.
Yeah. My last travel trip to Minnesota, I sold 2 back-to-back.
Isn't it like -5 degrees there?
It's freezing over there, but no one's running, so I have to. So I bought 2 instant life leads. So they were $11 each, obviously, and I closed them both for like $9,000. The premium on them is super high.
9,000 each.
9,000. No. 9,000 total.
9,000 total between 2 leads.
That's crazy. That's
yeah,
$22.
let's hit that. Why do you think the average premium? I know you don't. I know that you're just guessing, but why do you think the average premium's so high?
They're hungry for insurance. They need insurance.
Well, you got to think. Like, let's say I was gonna get life insurance and I wasn't in life insurance. What would I do?
Look online.
And I'd request somebody to call me.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I would know how much coverage I wanted.
Yep. You know what you're looking for.
Yeah, I'd know what I was looking for.
Yeah.
So you're calling them now. Do they ever say, just give me a quote? We'll get into phone script, but how often do you have that come up?
Every once in a while, maybe. I feel like they're pretty easy. They're solid books. Of all leads, like final expense leads, mortgage protection, I feel like these have been the easiest ones to book by far.
Now, do you some agents I've heard go, well, some of the numbers don't work, and you're saying 20 to 30% of them could be a bogus lead, but the lead's so cheap, you're okay with those ratios.
They're $11, yeah.
Opposed to $30.
Exactly. It's a numbers game. The more you buy, the more you're going to book, the more you're going to sell.
Now, some agents, I have to ask you this, do you think because it's like they're focusing on this 30% that didn't work and not the 70% that you could go write, all this premium off of. Why do you think that is the case for some people?
Mindset, or maybe they're just, I feel like maybe they need to work on their phone script, which we'll get into. We'll get into the phone script, but I just feel like.
Or do you think maybe they're just, well, I would say I had to unlearn being negative or seeing negative things.
Yeah, it's definitely mindset negativity. That's for sure.
Was that ever you?
Absolutely. Yeah. Starting out in the industry, I will say I've been in the industry for 4 years. I mean, I wasn't always good. I still don't think I'm good, but you learn as you go. And the biggest thing is, I always say, and Jordan always says it, and you guys always say it, it's running your first 100 appointments.
Yeah. I heard an agent say, he goes, I realized I could alter my business when I altered my attitude. And I'm like, dude, that's so true, because you could be so negative and be looking for something to go wrong, and it's like you're attracting it, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So you're looking at the positive, the 70% you can book. What do you do if one is bad? Do you get mad? Or I used to get pissed, and then I go, damn, that was like $11.
On to the next. I mean, it's $11.
This is literally what I would do. I would go, okay, I made $8 at the grocery store. I just wasted $11 on a lead. I'd get pissed, and then I'd call the next person pissed.
And then you wouldn't book them either.
And I wouldn't book them, and I'd be like, that person's an idiot.
Yeah.
And then it's like this spiral of just sucking.
They feel your energy on the phone, too. Like, you don't have to be all hyped up and energetic, but they feel that you're, upset.
You think if you're smiling, they know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You really think that?
Absolutely. 100%, yes.
Do they think if you're mad, they can tell?
Oh, yeah. Doesn't Jack look at himself in the mirror every time he books? Or he used to?
Drew, what do you think?
About?
You think that you could tell if someone calls you if they're smiling and giving off good vibes or not?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's, yeah. Perception's reality.
There you go. So
when you're calling, what do you do to be in a good mood?
I am just in good spirit. Like, it's dial day. You know what I mean? Like, Monday, it's kind of ingrained in me, I feel like. It's
now,
just.
You're generally positive, or at least every time I've talked to you, I think since I've met you, it's been everything's great. You're killing it. You're so excited. You're so appreciative. You're so blessed to be working here. It's like all that. Are you always like that?
No, I don't think anyone is. I think we all have bad days. I feel like you just have to leave that at the door, and you have to have your goals, in line. Like, you have to know what you're there for.
How often do you have a bad day like that?
I mean, I would say I'm a pretty happy person. So every once in a while, maybe like once or twice a month. For example, like I ran in another state the other day, and I had 11 appointments on the books. I sat in 9. I did not sell 1. That was like the first time in a while. And I feel like we're all going to
Did you want to quit?
a little bit, yeah. But I knew the bigger picture. I was like, okay, so I could either be upset about this and take it into tomorrow where I had another
So
11
you're a Hall of Fame
appointments.
producer and you had 9 appointments and didn't sell one.
Yeah.
And they were all home.
They were, yeah, the 9 that I saw, they were home. Yeah.
What was the objection?
There was a whole bunch of them.
Was it you or was it them?
I would say it was me.
That's what I always said.
Yeah.
I always go, what's the odds that I got like 20 no's in a row and
Yeah.
then 20 yeses in a row? Was it me or was it them? And it was me. It was the way I was communicating, the way I was thinking, all these different things.
You get in your head sometimes, and that's normal for, I feel like, any producer. You're not always going to have good days, but the next day I wrote 10K. So it's a numbers game. It works out.
So let me ask you this, though. When you had that 9th person tell you no in a row, did they all say they needed to think about it?
It was a lot of think about it. It was a lot of, oh, no, this. It was a bit of everything, basically.
And what'd you tell yourself to start thinking right again? Did you call somebody?
Yeah, of course.
Who?
So I always call Jordan. I always call people that are doing exactly what I'm doing or better. So like I surround myself with people that are crushing it. So Clay, Genevieve O, they're killing it. So I call them a lot. And they'll tell me what I did wrong or what I can improve on. And I just told myself like, hey, okay, today was a bad day. I can't go back and redo it. But I have 10 on the books for tomorrow. I'm going to make something happen. So the field owes me is what I always say.
I like that.
Yeah.
The field owes me.
Yeah.
And everything's going to balance itself out.
Exactly.
So you went out the next day and wrote 10K.
I did.
What'd you think after that day?
I was hyped. It was a good day. Yeah, that's for sure.
So that's why people say never get too high and never get too low.
Exactly.
If you can stay in the middle, you'll crush this industry.
And that's why I think what I think was very hard for me when I had first started is I would, write a bunch of business and I would take a week off and I was on my high, and then the next 2 weeks when I get back in the field, I'm going, I'm not writing anything. I would let my lows get too low, and I feel like you just need that balance. But you get that with the more appointments that you have, the more people you see, the more experience you have. So
Yeah. Now tell us about that because it's a common thing for new agents. They write policies, and what do?
go on vacation. That's what I did.
Did you go to Disneyland?
No, I went to Hawaii.
So I think 90% of the time it's Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Maybe.
see them on social media at Disneyland, and I go, "Oh no, he wrote a few." That person wrote a few policies,
Yep.
and then they call me when they get back, and they go, "I got 2 chargebacks, and I'm freaking out." So when you first started, you wrote a bunch of premium. You went to Hawaii for how long?
So it was my first 2 days in the field, like with FFL, and I wrote 8,000, and I went to Hawaii for 10 days.
Yikes! And what happened when you got back?
I didn't work for I didn't sell a single policy for the next 3 or 4 weeks after that, just because I was out of the zone. So I even learned that the hard way when I got really serious this year. I had a big month. I think I did 54,000, something like that. And I went on a 5-day trip afterwards. I was like, I'm just going to celebrate. I go on that trip and I get back and for the next 2 weeks, I'm not selling anyone. And I just totally lost my groove.
Isn't it weird that happens?
So weird.
You lose all your momentum and it's hard to get back.
Yeah.
So if you're new, wait to take a vacation until you put in work. And I always tell people if you're in not everyone's in a bad situation, but if you are and you're just getting in the industry, give yourself a while before you do that. Get out of your financial situation and then be smart about taking vacations.
Yeah. I think a huge thing there is setting, micro goals and big goals for yourself too. So whether it's to write 5,000 in a week or, you have to write 20 or 30 in a month and then you can go on a 2 or 3 day trip, that's fine.
I like 2 or 3 day trips.
Yeah.
That's what I always did. If we hit in 90 days, I'd go crazy. If we hit this goal, then a 2 or 3 day trip. I just get bored after 3 days, though.
Yeah.
Do you?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
You're
over
like, what
3
am I
days.
doing?
One time, Grady, he right when he started, he did the same thing. He goes, I'm going to go to Mexico for 8 days. And his
Jeez.
business was blowing up. And I go, dude, you should cancel that trip to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, we already booked it. And I'm like, dude, your business is exploding
Yeah.
and you're doing great in the field and you're gonna be bored. He called me like day 3 in Mexico. He's like, dude, I'm going crazy here. There's nothing to do. How many days can you go to the pool?
Or to the beach. Yeah, it's seriously, it gets repetitive.
Yeah. But all right, so micro goals, short trips. If you hit your goal, that's what you do, 2-3 days
Yeah.
trips.
Mm-hmm.
And then back to work, not losing momentum.
Yep, exactly. You can't lose that fire.
Okay, now let's hit phone script.
Perfect.
Let's start with, I guess let's just do the introduction for instant internet leads. What do you say?
Perfect.
So you can call me.
So I am one of those people. I always have my phone script in front of me. So I'm going to pull it up here. It's
No
just,
matter what.
No matter what.
And you've memorized it.
I've been doing this for 4 years. I've memorized the script, but I will always have the phone script in front of me. It's just like a security thing. Do you do that too?
No,
No?
but I should.
Yeah.
I would do better.
I recommend it.
Yeah.
Phone scripts and then objections as
Yeah.
well. So
Solid.
awesome. So, hey, Andrew.
Yes.
Andrew, this is Nina at the benefit office here in Maricopa County, getting back to you about the life insurance request you sent in a few weeks ago. It looks like you put your address here as 1247 East Bluefield and your date of birth as June 28th, 1976. Is that correct?
Yes.
Awesome. So perfect. My name is Nina. I'm just letting you know that we did get your request, and I'm actually just the field underwriter assigned to get this out to you and go through a quick eligibility. Just like I said, it's all non-medical, so no blood or physical or anything. I just need to check your ID and make sure that no one has you strapped to a hospital bed full time. It should take 10 to 15 minutes. Now, are you still working full time? Are you retired or disabled?
I'm working full time.
Okay, and then are you single, married, widowed, or divorced?
Married.
Okay, Andrew. So I'm dispatched out to you tomorrow, seeing about 50 other families. I have an opening at 5:45 or in 8:30 p.m. Do you have a preference?
8:30.
8:30. Okay. I'm gonna write you in for 8:30 p.m. Again, my name is Nina, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Before we get off the phone, do you have a pen and paper nearby?
Yes.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to have you write down a few things for me. First and foremost is my name. My name's Nina, and that's spelled Nina. Our appointment time, 8:30 p.m. tomorrow, the 17th. And then our confirmation code, which is 12ND. Read that back to me.
12ND.
Perfect. What time is our appointment?
8:30.
Okay, awesome, Andrew. And then on my way there, before we get off the phone, if I get lost since I'm not too familiar with that area, do you mind if I give you a call ahead of time?
I don't mind at all.
Perfect. I'll see you tomorrow at 8:30 p.m.
Love it. I like how you asked me to what time are you coming over? Because it made me remember.
Yep.
Even me sitting right here, it made me remember.
Exactly.
That's solid.
Quiz them.
So you quiz them at the end.
Yeah, even in appointments too. Quiz them at the end.
Okay, we'll talk about that when we get into the in-home. And you're doing that so I remember.
Absolutely.
Do you ever say I look like this person when I'm coming over?
I don't know.
I don't know if I ever told you, but like after every appointment, I'd go, all right, well, when I get there, just so you know who I am, I look like Brad Pitt.
That's so funny.
And then they'd go, they'd be like, either say, oh, awesome. And then I'd get there and they'd go, you don't look like Brad Pitt.
That's hilarious.
But the best one was this lady that goes, I don't like Brad Pitt. And I go, did I say Brad Pitt? I meant Ben Affleck.
Oh my gosh.
And she goes, I don't like him either.
That's hilarious.
And I was like, oh, well, another rep looks like The Rock. I can send him out. And she goes, I love The Rock. Send him out.
Oh my gosh. Grady gave me an appointment a while back, probably like a year ago. And I pulled up and the guy goes, who are you? I'm like, my name's Nina. He's like, well, it was supposed to be Grady. I said, well, he sent me. You're probably a lot happier. He's like, oh, I am.
That's funny. All right, let's get into in-home.
Perfect.
So now this is an instant internet life lead in-home.
Okay.
Let's go straight from knocking on the door.
Perfect. Andrew, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Straight to the point.
So
really.
wait, at the door, what do you say? I answer the door. What do you say? Do you want my shoes on or off, or?
I don't say that.
No?
I don't take my shoes off. No, but I'll say, Andrew, I'm here for our appointment about the life insurance request you put in.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing today?
Good.
Do you have a table we can sit at?
Yeah, come on in.
Awesome. How are you doing today? Good?
Awesome, yeah.
And it's just you. You're not married, right?
I'm married. Let me get my
okay.
wife.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Make sure both of them are there. So you guys put in a request for some life insurance through social media. What pushed you to fill that out?
We just wanted some quotes.
You just wanted some quotes. Okay, what was the purpose of filling out that form? Someone recently passed away in the family. You have a mortgage to protect. What are you looking for?
Yeah, just getting older and want to make sure if something happens. And we just had a baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the baby. All right. And what's your baby's name?
Atlas.
Okay, awesome. Well, congratulations. So I'm real quickly just going to go through who I am and what I do. First things first, my name is Nina. I'm licensed by the state of Arizona to go over this life insurance coverage with you. This right here is my Arizona state insurance license, and then this is my badge. So I'll show them both just for credibility. And then
Do you feel that makes them more comfortable?
absolutely. And I'll even encourage them to take a picture of both just so they have it. It builds that trust. It makes them feel more comfortable. So I'll go through that. Take a picture of this if you'd like. And
you have a badge on too, right?
super professional, yeah. The badge is like gold.
The best.
It's
Yeah.
gold. Did you have one when you were in the
Oh,
field?
yeah.
Yeah. It's
And
gold.
I would tell people on the phone, I'd go, "Hey, don't let me in if I don't have the badge," because and I did that so other people couldn't get into the house. Well, I forgot my badge one day, and this lady wouldn't let me into the appointment that I set.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. So from there, I'll go to the credibility sheet and I say, okay, so the company that I work for is called Family First Life. So I'm a broker. I'm not a captive agent. I don't just work for one company. I don't give one quote. I don't do any of that. I'm not the quote guy. I work for about 15 to 20 different companies that are all A and A plus rated. So I'm sure you recognize most of these companies, correct?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So all of these companies have been around forever. They're not going anywhere, okay? So a lot of what we do is mortgage protection insurance. We also do life insurance, and we specialize in safe money retirement. We're focusing on the life insurance portion for you today, okay?
Okay.
And then I flip over and I bring out my inventory sheet. And just like you always say, the key with the inventory sheet is to get as much information as you possibly can. Like, I don't want any white spaces on that form. Like, I want to fill it out.
Yeah, someone said to me, they go, and this helped me a lot. They go, think about you're painting a picture of their life by getting as much information on this inventory sheet so you can show them what it looks like if something happens to them.
Absolutely. And oftentimes, like, you'll go into a final expense appointment and they might be younger and they have a mortgage and they're healthy. So you could combine the two. You could get them both. So there's so much that you can find out just from that form. So I'll flip over. And one of the things I always say is we have 3 objectives before we get into these questions. I'm going to take about 2 minutes to go through some medical questions and finance questions to see what you would actually qualify for, okay? So we have 3 objectives. We want to make sure that we find coverage that's affordable for you, comfortable for you, and then something you can actually qualify for. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
What you're doing right now is a trial close.
Exactly.
Which means you're getting them to agree to do business if you could find something affordable, fits their needs budget, but you haven't showed them prices yet.
There we go.
Now, just to reverse, you didn't get like emotional. Do you do that? Some
No.
people get real deep into what does it look like if you die? What's going to happen to your wife? You don't do that.
No, I save that for after the inventory sheet. I kind of try to find
Okay, so you're going
what their income is. I feel like you have to know what their income looks like before kind of getting into that. So.
Do you think that their health, like you're painting this picture of why they're going to need insurance and how you can help them with the financial inventory.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think their health has something to do with that? Like if somebody's not healthy, you go, okay, so you're the primary breadwinner, you have some health conditions, you want to make sure your wife and kids are taken care of.
Absolutely.
Do you use that though?
Oh yeah, 100%. I feel like you have to.
And on the one thing that's not on the financial inventory is, do you save any money? Do you ask that question?
I ask if they have any significant savings in place.
Do you ask if they save any money per month?
No.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll go through, I'll ask, if they rent or own their house, how much they're paying for it, what it's worth. So I'll go through all those questions. And then I'll dig into some medical questions. So, Andrew, how young are you?
I'm 31.
You're 31, okay. And your wife?
31.
Okay, 31. Awesome. And then are you working still, I assume?
Yes.
Okay, what do you do for work?
I'm in sales.
Okay, you're in sales. And then what about is your monthly income?
4,100.
4,100. And then Nicole, what about for you?
She doesn't work. She's stay-at-home mom.
She's a stay-at-home mom. Awesome. And then Andrew, tell me, are you taking any medications currently?
No.
No. Okay. Nothing at all.
Nothing.
Nothing that you've been prescribed in the last 5 years.
Just like ibuprofen.
Ibuprofen.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And then any major surgeries the last couple of years?
No.
Okay. And then is your family health history pretty good? Any cancer, heart disease, heart attacks,
Nothing.
diabetes? Nothing at all? Okay. And then
Now, if it is, do you use that as another reason for them to get protection?
absolutely.
So you bring you take the sum of all these things and you kind of paint this picture for them, like this happened to your family.
Yeah. Like if they say, yeah, heart disease, okay, who had it?
And then do you ever like summarize this after you get this information? You go, okay, Nina, so as I'm looking at your situation, your dad died at, 62 of a heart attack. You're the primary breadwinner. Your wife doesn't work. You have a son. Looking at your situation, I can see why you want to make sure they're taken care of.
Yep.
God forbid something happened to you. Do you actually summarize that back to them?
Yeah, I feel like that's why it's so important to get those details because you repaint the picture for them.
Got it.
Right. So
So you're going to do that to me right now?
absolutely.
Okay.
I am. Okay. So nothing runs in the family, no health issues at all. Now I'm going to ask you some preliminary health questions. You're just going to answer yes or no to these. I would normally, have the sheet in front of me, so I'd write everything down as I'm going. Any heart attacks for you, heart failure, any cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure?
No.
Any asthma or COPD?
No.
Thyroid issues?
No.
Anxiety or depression, kidney or liver disease?
No.
Okay, awesome. What do you owe on this home?
300,000.
300,000, a 15, 20, or 30-year loan.
30.
Okay, when did you move in?
1 year ago.
1 year ago. Okay, so 29 years left. Awesome.
29 years left.
What's the house worth?
Probably 500.
500. Nice. $200,000 of equity in it.
Yeah.
That's great. And then, do you ever add?
Everybody's leaving California to come to Vegas, so everyone's fighting over houses.
Yeah, makes sense. It's horrible. And then, are you adding extra towards your mortgage payments to pay that loan off early?
No.
Okay, nothing at all.
Nothing.
Do you plan on it?
Maybe down the road.
Okay, awesome. And then as far as anything that you currently have in place that would act like life insurance.
So even though this was an internet life lead, you're going into the mortgage questions.
100%. I mean,
Okay.
that's such a great product.
Okay.
Living benefits and everything. We'll get into that. But what do you have in place currently that would offset the cost of the mortgage or that would help Nicole and Atlas that would be in place when the time does come?
I have coverage through work.
You have coverage through work, okay. And then any 401ks, IRAs, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, nothing like that?
Like 50,000 in retirement.
Okay. And then that life insurance, so it's through work. So just like a company car, you know how that works, right? Once you leave, quit, or retire within 31 days, that'll go away. So with that work coverage, how much do you have in place?
100,000.
100,000. Okay. Wow, that's not even enough to cover the loan. And then.
And you make little comments.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
throughout the whole presentation.
So there's
Absolutely.
a ton of little.
Mm-hmm. You get in their head. It's all about word tracks. So okay, and then I assume Nicole's your beneficiary on that policy.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Great, Andrew. So based off of everything you told me, I know what you'll be able to qualify for. The key is now just finding something, of course, that's affordable, comfortable, and something you can qualify for. I wish I could approve everyone. Unfortunately, I cannot. We have to submit a request for coverage from the carriers, and then they make that decision. The company that I think will accept you is called Americo. So first and foremost, that's where I go. And then what's the biggest thing that you're looking for with this coverage? Obviously, you have a mortgage, right? So you're looking for something that would cover that loan if something were to happen to you, because Nicole is the stay-at-home mom.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not going to have any of your income coming in anymore when that day does come, right?
Right.
And then tell me, is this important to you? If you became terminally, chronically, critically ill, and you couldn't work anymore, and you had to obviously still keep up with those mortgage payments, would something help? Some coverage like that help, where they would send you some of the money, or if all of it maybe up front?
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully that doesn't happen.
And then aside from the mortgage, are you looking for funeral and final expense insurance, or what's the most
Just
important
money
thing?
for my kid and wife.
Just money for your kid and wife. Okay, awesome. So then based off everything that you told me, I would basically go into quotes. I would go Americo first. I would give them a couple different options. I would go.
Are you going to hit cash back like
I am.
heavy?
Heavy, especially because you're 31, right?
So show me the pitch, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I would go a few different ways. So I always do 3 options. I option close, I guess. So I go, the first option is going to be the most affordable option, and I draw like $1 sign next to it. So I'll draw like a little T chart with like 3 sections, and the first one is the first dollar sign, and I'll say, okay, the first option.
Drew, we should get a little like thing you can write on in here, and record at the same time.
But the first option is going to be the most affordable option. That's why it has $1 sign. So what this is, I like to call it traditional mortgage protection or traditional insurance. So this is going to be active if you were to pass away in any type of accident. So accidental death only. So this is the first option. The second option is a term life insurance policy that's going to cover you for 30 years. So I would show 30 years in that case. And it's going to protect you in the event of a death, whether it's natural or accidental. It'll also include living benefits. So if you become terminally, chronically, critically ill, it'll fully cover you as well. But it's only going to cover you for those 30 years. After that, if you don't use it, you lose the coverage. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Awesome. So that's the second option. So I'll put $2 signs there. And then the third option is very...
What's the deal with the $2 signs? I don't get it.
Just in order from like the cheapest to the most expensive coverage.
Okay.
So
Got it.
Then I feel like it'd be easier if I was writing it out. But then I go to the third box and I'll put $3 signs. And I'll say, okay, this right here is our priciest option, but it is our most popular program. And I think this is something that would fit you guys very well. So this is called a term with cashback policy. So what this policy does, it lasts for 30 years, just like the second option here. You pay into it every single month for those 30 years. If something happens, like you become terminally, chronically, critically ill, or you pass away, this is going to make sure that Nicole has money coming in, okay? But if nothing happens in those 30 years, so by the age of 61, you would get every single penny that you put into your policy back tax-free. So of these 3, which one sounds best for you to leave?
Why would the company do that? It seems like too good of a deal.
It benefits you. It's a great product.
But how does the company make money?
They invest your money that you put into it monthly.
Got it. So they're taking my money, investing it.
Yeah.
But if I were to save money, I don't make any money on that really anyway. So
Exactly.
And how much is that one?
Well, then at that point, then I would find them different options.
What do you think it would be? Just
depending, it just depends what coverage. So for
300?
me, I would look for 300 to 400,000 with Americo is what I would put in place.
So 400.
400,000. And then honestly, I would stack some Mutual of Omaha accidental with that just to give more coverage. The most common way to die before the age of 65 is in a car accident. So I would stack more accidental on top of that to show more coverage. But I would, show 400.
With your money back. So what do you think that would cost me guessing?
Your age?
Yeah.
Over $200 a month. But you get everything
Which
back.
is not a lot.
No.
See, I'm going to say, okay, I want the $200 a month.
Okay, awesome. So this $200 a month, this amount is comfortable for you, good days, bad days. I want to make sure this coverage is in place at all times, okay? So not just today, not just in 30 days, but the day that you pass away. That amount is comfortable for you, correct? $200 a month. Okay, awesome. So the next step...
I just won't go to the casino for once a week.
Smart. So the next step, like I said, I wish I could approve everyone. Unfortunately, I cannot. The company has to. So we're going to submit a request for coverage, see if you can even qualify. They'll let me know in 1 to 2 business days if you do. And then from there, you'll be protected.
Okay. So you sign me up. Cool. How do you quiz me at the end?
So one thing I'll say at the end is, okay, Andrew, I was going to ask you this at the very beginning. This really cements the sale, I feel like. So I was going to ask you
Why
this
do you want to submit the sale?
so it doesn't fall off. Chargebacks are going to happen. That's totally normal in the industry that we're in, but you can
Limit them.
limit them, especially like with the way you cement. So I've gotten really good with cementing. So one of the things I ask everyone before I leave is, okay, Andrew, so I'm glad I was able to, get this applied for today. So you took a while to get this taken care of. I mean, you have a wife and you have a kid as well. What took you so long to get this in place? Someone could have died already. Like, be genuine about it. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I'm just a procrastinator.
Most people are. That makes sense. Hey, at least you got it taken care of today. And then I'll say, okay, give me 3 reasons. I like to do this with everyone. I want you to quiz me today, okay? Or grade me today. Give me 3 reasons of why you got this coverage in place today. So I don't want you to just tell me, oh, because it's affordable, or oh, it made sense. I want you to tell me 3 reasons why this coverage is important to you and why you actually got this in place.
Reason 1, if something happens to me, my wife and kid have a place to live and some extra money left over.
Mm-hmm.
Reason 2, you explained it really well. And reason 3, I get all my money back in 30 years.
There you go. Okay.
Now, what if they can't give you 3 reasons?
Oh, I'll sit there until they
Do
give
they
me 3.
always come up with 3 reasons?
Always. Yeah. I don't care if it takes them 20 minutes. It's really cementing that sale for them. So they remember why they got it. So if they ever were to call me and say, oh, I want to cancel this coverage. Okay, well, these are the 3 reasons you gave me.
And you just remember them?
I'll write them down.
And where do you save them?
I just have like a little sheet that I write them down on, and I save them
all the sheets
with all my client profile. I have all my clients' information with me. So my client profile sheet. I have a filing cabinet.
Why don't you use like Google Drive or something?
I'm old school.
Drew, would you guess Nina had a filing cabinet?
No, I wouldn't. No.
That's surprising.
I really do. That's where I keep. Well, where do you keep all the paperwork? You upload it.
I got it.
Okay.
All right. So you do that. Now, do you send a thank you note or anything to customers?
Yes, I do.
What does that say?
I basically say I don't say thank you. I say congratulations on getting this coverage in place. And then I add another business card in there. And then I have my referral little script in there.
Do you say thank you for trusting me to help your family? Anything like that?
No, mine just says congratulations on qualifying for this coverage. I'm your agent for life. Anything you need, feel free to reach out to me.
Handwritten?
Handwritten.
Do they love that?
They love that.
That's so big.
It adds your little touch. So.
Yeah. I used to do that, write them all out and mail them out.
Absolutely. It's awesome.
All right. So any other tips on in-home instant internet life lead?
I just feel like they're really simple. Just buy as many as they're always loading in there. You know what I mean? So buy as many. How many are we getting a day?
7,500 a day.
And it's going to increase.
And it can go to 30,000 if agents need them.
Yeah. Like I said, I've had super success with them. I went to Hawaii and Minnesota. I've written 23,000 just off those in the last month. They work just as long as you do. So
just run through the numbers.
Absolutely.
All right. A few other questions. Do you have any travel tips, like book your flight early or how to not eat terrible on the road or anything like that?
I feel like it goes back to your goals. So for me, everyone's different. Like I know Josh and Alondra, they travel a lot, but they like on the fly just book their flight, where I'm very planned out and structured. So I have a calendar and I basically put every single trip that I'm going to go on that month and when I'm going. So I'll have like dial day for Arizona, run day for Arizona. And then the next week is like dial day for Florida and then fly to Florida and then run day. So I feel like really getting that structure in place. But again, you don't like, so let's say I'm going to Florida and I'm leaving on a Monday and I'm running appointments Tuesday and Wednesday. Well, I don't want to get there on Monday and start dialing as soon as I get there. I'm going to be exhausted from my flight. I want to have pre-books already there. So I think one of the best days of the week to dial is on a Sunday. So that Sunday before I leave, I am hammering the phones. And my goal is to get 15 appointments at least in a 2-day period. And if I have momentum, I'm going to book more. So Sunday, I'll dial. Monday would be my travel day. And then I get there and I'll fill in gaps or fill in more of my schedule. And then from there, I just run the next 2 days. But I'm not leaving unless I have at least 10 appointments booked.
Yeah, or more.
Or more, exactly.
You don't go unless you have.
There's no point, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to.
Because you're spending money to get there, obviously.
And you're procrastinating, which you shouldn't do. So don't leave your house without 16 appointments if you're doing a travel trip, which means you're staying overnight somewhere, right?
Exactly.
Now, do you try to eat healthy when you're going on these travel trips?
Yeah, I try to. It's energy. Like, I feel like you can't eat like crap and like expect to not be tired in the field all day. So I try to like pack and prep my meals.
But that's a legitimate thing to think about, because I used to do travel trips all the time. And if I didn't plan, I was eating all kinds of junk food. It was just like this unhealthy trip when you can be much more effective. So how do you do that?
Well, I don't get Panda Express and take naps in my car. I used to do that. But no, I'll call like meal prep companies and order meal prep.
You actually do that?
Oh, yeah, 100%. A local meal prep company, I'll have them deliver it to wherever I'm staying.
Where do you generally stay?
It depends on where I go. So I try to, if I'm not ordering meal prep, I'll like get a place that has a kitchen. So like an Airbnb or like a hotel with like a little kitchen.
Seriously?
In it. So then when I get there.
So you're not eating Del Taco and In-N-Out the whole time?
I would die. But yeah, no. So I feel like that's one of the most important things, even because it's all about, you have to be energetic and you have to be ready to rock at all times.
And you think if you don't eat good, it will hurt. You won't be as energized.
100%. I majored in dietetics, so I know all about this.
Oh shoot, nice.
Yeah. So that's huge, absolutely.
So you meal prep, or do a meal prep company. If you call a meal prep company, how does that work?
You can either order them online or you just call them and you place an order. They ask you what you want and they send it to whatever address you're going to.
Do you fly in the day before or the day of, or what's that usually like?
The day before my appointments? Yes. So like I said, if I'm running on a Tuesday, Wednesday, I get there Monday, getting all my stuff ready, like printing my leads. I get everything in line. And then that Sunday I would book my appointments.
And do you listen, what type of podcasts or training, or what do you listen to?
FFL podcasts. I love Joe Rogan, Ed Milet. Like energy's on fire all the time. So
you're looking for good, positive information.
Yes. Yep. You have to feed yourself with that. Otherwise you can get stuck in.
You think that's why you're good at not going down a negative, negative path of poor me, 30% of these leads didn't work, getting upset. That's why you're like kind of protecting your mind.
Yeah, mindset is everything.
So you're saying healthy diet keeps you energized. You're keeping your mind full of positive information. What else?
I mean, another thing is like listening to FFL podcasts too. Like the days that I have like that day where I went 0 for 9. Well, I had a lot of 60-plus-year-old clients. So what did I do? I didn't sell any of them, so I went back and listened to that John Wetmore podcast.
And it helped you.
It helps, yeah.
So instead of saying it was the client, you said it was me.
It was me, yeah, 100%.
Dude, that's such a big. If anyone could take anything from this, it's you can sell anybody, and you're the reason why you can't sell them. It's not them. And you can either get mad or you can go, let me learn more, which is what every time I had a no sale, I would call somebody and go, what would you have done? What could I have done different? And then I would apply that to the next in-home.
It's smart, and that's how you learn.
Now you're building an agency, so if someone's watching this and they don't work with Family First Life, they can call you.
Absolutely.
Or email you.
Call or email me all day.
You want to give them your email just in case?
Yeah, sure. It's Nina, my last name, which is really long, DAMJANOVIC@outlook.com.
And do you want to give them your phone number too?
Yeah, sure. 602-432-9015.
You sure you want to do that?
I'm here for it. I'm here to help everyone.
You're here to build an agency.
That's the best part of Family First Life.
I mean, I put my phone number on my Facebook,
Your
Instagram, everything right in the title.
Yeah.
Which sometimes I'm like, man, I shouldn't have done that. But
it's cool.
Yeah, it's all good. We're here to build a business. So and don't call Nina or email her unless it's because you want to sell insurance, and that's it. Yeah.
Yep. There we go.
Yeah. What does it look like for you building an agency? If someone wants to work with you, you'll help hire and train them.
Mm-hmm.
What does that consist of?
Absolutely.
And what type of person are you looking for?
I mean, I feel like I'm looking for motivated people, but not everyone comes in motivated. Like, I wasn't motivated from the start, but I got there with seeing what this opportunity could do for me. So a lot of the people that I target when hiring are people that are either already in sales. I honestly don't hire too many licensed people. It's usually people that are just in sales in general. So pest control, door-to-door sales, solar, anything that you can think of that's sales. And I feel like those jobs are pretty hard. Those jobs like pest control, that's a grind, right?
I kind of want to try that. Like just to
You should.
just to see if I could close deals.
You should. I'm sure you would.
My friend told me the pitch. He's like, "Have you seen these massive spiders crawling around outside your house?" And then they're like, "No." And they're like, "Oh man, all the neighbors. We just sprayed all the neighbors because there's these huge spiders and there's like a name for them." And he's like,
"Well, that's like Marshall Gosling, who just started working with us probably 2 months ago.
Who's a beast.
I mean, he's issue paid like $60,000 his first.
How
2
old
months.
is he?
He's 26.
Super sharp.
He's insane, but he came from door-to-door pest control sales, and he was like their rookie of the year, and I think he made like $75,000, and he was in their like top 10. So
Kid's a stud.
yeah, so coming into this, he's like, whoa, this is awesome. So as far as like what an agent would get from me, of course, one-on-one training. I like to spend time, with a lot of them, and I'm in the field. I'm doing what it takes, and I want to, be able to help them do the same thing. So me being in the field, just like leading by example, I guess.
Do you think people like being trained by people who aren't in the field or were not big top performers in the field?
No,
You
I
don't?
know I wouldn't like that. So, being able to call me and say, hey, I'm sitting here with Mary. She's taking insulin. She's on metformin. She's on 7 different high blood pressure medications, and me knowing exactly what to tell them, like they respect that a lot. So
What's your goal? Now, being in the field, the nice thing at Family First Life, you're building an agency. And you're not going to you don't have to be in the field if you don't want to forever, right?
Right.
What's your goal as far as how much premium you're going to do before you get out of the field, or do you have any intentions of getting out of the field?
You know what? Not for a while. I can't even, like I always tell myself, I can't even imagine myself getting out of the field.
Dude, I want to go back in the field.
You should.
And I'm not kidding.
You should. It's fun. It's challenging. You get to meet different types of people, and you're building your clientele. So it's awesome. Like I think it's going to take a lot for me to get out of the field.
Yeah. But I think the thing is to not have to be in the field to pay your bills.
Exactly.
Like the goal is to not have to do it because you want to.
Right.
And have override and bonus income from FFL.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who have no idea, what type of income have you had per month? Like what's your net income with Family First Life?
So I would say I spend right around $8,000 a week, or $8,000 a month on leads. So $2,000 a week is.
Okay.
I haven't really gone past that at all. I mean, last month I had $57,000 in deposits. Take that $8,000 off. Take off,
So
gas,
49,000.
Yeah.
So let's say take another 9,000 off to be real conservative.
Yeah.
40K net month. No. 30. Let's say 38K
Yeah.
net per month.
Yeah.
So what do you do with that money?
Right now I'm saving, of course. I'm trying to reinvest it back into the business.
Which means what?
For hiring purposes,
to run
hiring
it?
staff. Oh my gosh, I feel like that has been a game changer for me. Staff, I have a hiring manager that helps me handle everything, and then a full-time assistant as well.
So you're doing those things to be able to hire more people,
Yeah.
build a bigger agency.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Awesome. Lastly, what's like do you have any like personal goals, not just financial?
Well, as far as FFL goes, yeah. So obviously I feel like none of my goals are really financial. Like I'm not money hungry. I'm driven by growth. And just this year with FFL, I've grown so much as a person. Like I've personally developed a ton.
What's the value on that?
I mean, I just feel like you're a better person. and you can help people be better people. So it's awesome. So as far as I definitely want to hit Hall of Fame, and I know that's kind of like a number, but it's been a huge goal. And then I want to help my agents get to where they want to be. So whether that's Hall of Fame next year, whether that's to build a massive agency, I want to help them and pass everything along. So
What about like personal goals? Like buy a house, do
oh
anything?
yeah, absolutely. So I am renting right now.
Cars?
So yeah, I want a Porsche Taycan. That's for sure.
Paul McLean just got that.
No way. I'm gonna ask him to borrow it. Yeah, I want a Porsche Taycan, and then definitely want to buy a house. So I want to move. That's for sure. I want to move to Florida. So be by the water.
Serious?
Yeah,
What part of Florida?
Tampa,
Everybody's
preferably.
going to Florida.
So
Everyone's going to Florida.
great place to be.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it too.
Yeah.
Better not.
For like 2-3 months a year.
Better not.
There you
dude.
go. Yeah.
So one thing I want to mention before we wrap this up, I told somebody like Family First Life is great because you have the money. You can make a crazy amount of money. Like, and it doesn't matter if you have a degree. It just matters if you work hard, you want to help people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're willing to get leads, which is like your advertising.
Absolutely.
But the other values that are not financial values, and I don't know if you can put a price on them. I was sharing with somebody one of those big perks of being with Family First Life is you have a lot of people that are driven by being successful and helping people. So the environment that you're with it's kind of like lifting everybody up, right?
Right.
And as you get older, it's hard to find that type of community. So like, and I was telling my friend, I go, a lot of people like to go to church because one reason is that community, a lot of good people that want to help each other. But then other than that, I was thinking, where do you go to have that type of environment?
That's so true.
I'm just asking you. I don't know.
There is nowhere
Like,
else.
so
yeah.
the other option is you can go out, like, you can go out to like bars.
Right.
But I don't know
That's
if
not
it,
going to benefit you.
I don't know if it's going to benefit you of that environment of everybody working together and helping each other. So
Right.
it's kind of weird, but the value of the way Family First Life is set up financially is cool, but then also being around a lot of people that they love business, they love helping people. You're learning constantly.
Yes.
And like you said, you're becoming a better person, all these things. That's actually my favorite part about the company.
Personal growth. Absolutely.
So anyways, thank you for sharing and training today. You killed it. Keep killing it. I'm looking forward to see what you're going to do.
Thank you for having me on.